pissing off more people than you are.
Yeah. And honestly, I get also along with the Muslims, with some Muslims, you know? There are some others that are like retarded, but there is a guy in the
to which to direct all their
that really drives me nuts that he's a Muslim. I think he's the only Muslim in that room.
For not observing the state of another man's soul,
I don't even understand
scarce was
it.
ever any man known to.
But and he is the only one really that I ever fight in that environment. Which you see, the only person I have sort of a problem with in other environments, they have to be Muslim. And I must have been clipped by Muslims for sure. I broke a nail and it's very annoying. Now it's getting attached everywhere. Anyway, tell me something. Samson, tell me anything.
You know what's a little bit weird?
What?
So like my original plan was to be in Mexico by now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And someone was trying to convince me that, you know, when it comes to all these hurricanes and shit, like, oh, they pass around the time of September, October, it's fine, you can go, like, it really is not an issue. Look at how Jamaica got fucked.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different. So Mexico has got different type of conditions, although probably if you're gonna go to the Yucatan Peninsula, you might be fucked too, but not as much as the islands. Because, so for example, in my country, and we're also in the Caribbean, you know, and we are also suffering from these hurricanes. But in Guatemala, since we're surrounded by so many mountains, so many volcanoes, the hurricane gets caught, you know, like it gets caught and it loses its force, and all of them come into Guatemala as a tropical storm rather than as hurricanes. And so in the islands it's different because they're not protected, so the hurricane just like goes there and takes everything with it. So it's very different in mainland than in the islands. And yeah, you can't say in Florida because it's like so out in the ocean and it doesn't have mountains or anything to protect from these winds. It's also affected, but it's not the same in Mexico. Like even if Mexico in that part in the Yucatan Peninsula, it doesn't have like the full protection, it's surrounded by countryside, you know, by mainland that is protecting them. So it's not the same force.
Yeah, the only places that really get hurricanes in Mexico is just like the little tip of like where Riviera Maya, Cancun is, and the little strip where Cabo San Lucas is. Other than that, they don't really get hurricanes.
What about Honduras and Belize and these countries?
No, they don't get.
The same.
No,
Is what I'm saying. Like we don't get hurricanes. We get tropical storms, which they cause floods and shit like that. But it's not like hurricanes. You know, it's not like you're going to have a car flying over your.
Are you gonna die? That's what I want to know.
No.
Okay.
No, you're not gonna die. Like I had never suffered from a hurricane, and I lived for many years in my country.
That's right.
I experienced a very severe flooding in Brazil, though, when I went last year. I think it was on my...
Well, Brazil doesn't get hurricanes. The water is cold.
No, but the floodings are pretty bad. People die. I think it was my second or third day in Brazil. And I was like, what the fuck? This rain is not stopping. Then you just see like the water level rising, and you see how the cars, they just get completely submerged. You're thinking, what the fuck is this? And it's so bad that people, like, you can literally swim in that water. It's obviously disgusting, you know, like you're not supposed to do it, but like, you can literally go out for a swim.
Well, a lot of Brazil is like technically rainforest. Not all of it, but a lot of it.
Yeah, I actually saw someone with his boat messed up. Like he wanted to get around, so he just used his boat.
Yeah, the floods are very bad, but also because our infrastructure is very poor, you know, so the draining systems or the drainage system is like, it's a joke. So yeah, we get a lot of floods, especially in the poor areas. And even in the cities, you know, that are more developed and stuff, it's like everything's stuck, like it doesn't flow very well. But yeah, in the poor areas, of course, there's probably not even drainage system. Edmund, come on stage.
Jeez, Ethan, do you remember that winter in Spain where we had like ¿cómo se llamaba? What do we call that? Oh, wait, let me look it up. What's the name of that?
Yes, jihadis, Buttersmoke thinks a law will protect the Jews from a majority of jihadis. That's exactly her. No, I'm just responding to the comments in the chat. Jihadis is saying Buttersmoke thinks a law will protect Jews from a majority of jihadists. And I'm saying, yes, of course. Why are you doubting it? That's exactly how it works in the rest of the world. Laws can protect Israel. I think so.
¿Se llamaba Filomena?
I have no clue.
¿No te acuerdas de Filomena?
No me acuerdo.
Oh, no me mierda.
Is that a tropical storm?
It was, yeah, but yes, but it brought like a massive snowfall in Madrid, and like I literally saw people like skiing. Like people just said, "Fuck this!" Like,
Cyclone.
I'm just gonna bring out my ski and then go to work or whatever.
It's a cyclone. That was
Yep.
most.
Yeah, but a cyclone and a hurricane is the same thing. It's just a different area of the world. Like it's the same thing. You know, a typhoon, cyclone, and a hurricane, exact same thing.
Yeah. Moshe, do you know Farsi?
Persian?
Moshe.
Moshe, is he? I can't see the chat. Is he writing something in Persian?
I know. Excuse me, I'm a bit sick. But I know some Farsi words. So I live above a Persian synagogue, and I'm a part of the Persian synagogue every Shabbat.
Really?
So I'm with Jews from Iran, like every week.
What the?
Okay, yeah.
You're not Persian yourself?
No.
But you're in Israel, right?
No, not right now. I'm in New York right
Oh,
now.
where are you?
I'm in New York right now.
Oh, cool. I thought.
That's a Persian synagogue in New York.
Yeah. Because God Hashem, I'll be back in Israel soon.
But you've never lived in Israel.
No, I've been there for different periods of time, but no. But my next trip is God Hashem to live there for good.
Well, Moshe, he's been coming to the room since forever, and I always imagine his voice and his accent to be like Yoav, you know, or like.
Just like a Hebrew, like a real accent.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's a combination of his PTR.
How are you?
Yeah. I have a very bad, wrong conception of who Moshe is. Yeah.
It's cool. So what are the Persian words you know?
I know a lot of bad words, I know a lot of good words.
They teach you the bad words in the synagogue.
No, I was actually not there for talking bad words, no.
Are they your friends?
Iranians?
Yeah.
Jews? Iranian Jews?
Iranian Jews? Yeah.
Sure.
Close with the
So
rest.
you're Jewish, Moshe?
I'm Jewish, yeah, of course.
Of course.
Jewish from where?
Jewish from where? America?
Yeah, but like, where do your people come from? Is it like, I don't know, like...
All
Israel. That's the answer to Homeland, so that's the answer.
I don't even know how to ask this question. Like, I guess I'm trying to understand where do your Jewishness come from,
He's from all over.
Israel. Italy.
Oh, Juharis, come on second on stage. Yesterday, you missed a room, a whole conversation where now I am doubting my Christianity. Who was it that said it? It was Yakov. Yakov said that I am in a 5-year plan, 2-year plan, something like that. Samson.
What, sir?
Yakov was saying that I was in a
So
2-year
the 5
plan.
years? No, I said with you, a year and a half is enough. With me, it's 2 years, but with you, it's 3 years.
Dude, we need to talk about that. Did you read what I sent you from the
So,
ChatGPT?
exactly. Let's talk about it now. So it's very interesting you brought this out now because I didn't hear you really talk about it yesterday. But
You didn't?
I didn't what?
You didn't listen to the whole discussion yesterday?
No, I did. But the important thing. So you asked me, what do you think I should do? And I told you, you need to forget everything you know, right? And you need to start from the beginning, right? Because I saw what you were immediately trying to do. Like, you were like, oh, no.
Also, the rates of immigration are such that, like, they're gonna become a majority in 2490. It's like, yeah, in 5 centuries, we're gonna, have hovering mosques in Europe.
5 centuries?
We're gonna have to
No.
worry about
We better hurry.
majority. It's like,
Listen,
yeah,
the thing is, it's
hover
all
mosques.
systemic.
Yeah, it's like,
So then it's all systemic because look, Europeans, because this is how I see it. Usually, the more civilized, the less children they have. Usually.
Back then, I'm still racist. John Roberts haven't changed his view on the Voting Rights Act. He was from back in the day and still haven't changed his view. So when you guys say these things like somehow, oh, you try to defend this whole Clinton, he wouldn't have done it. You don't fucking know that. Why even say that shit? You don't know that.
I mean, Donald Trump has proven to still be racist today.
Yeah, exactly. Like, to be racist. So you could say, oh yeah, there's a light link connection right there. He did something like 5%, 10% racist in it. So he might during that time, the culture and that the zeitgeist during that time was all white or racist. No, it wasn't.
Before,
Because all else would have still been in check.
I thought Donald Trump was classist initially, but he's proven to be racist. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say shoot protesters that are the black protesters in the legs and shit, but then you fucking pardon 1,600 violent fucking offenders from January 6th. It's some racist, racist shit to do.
Yeah, but his father was literally, if people understand when you have to listen to Trump's niece talked about how domineering the father was and how he raised Donald and Donald's other siblings. And specifically, it was very much contextualized in race and also how to manage the buildings and how to treat tenants. And the thing about the father was literally arrested as part of a KKK rally in New York City. People don't seem to want to talk about that. He was literally arrested in New York City as part of a KKK rally.
Doesn't he have like some like fair housing lawsuits against him and shit?
Yes, fair housing lawsuits, racist lawsuits against him, used to just tenants. But the thing about what people don't realize, Donald Trump literally had one book by his nightstand. Not the Bible, not the Trump Bible. He had Mein Kampf.
Who told
So
you
this is the
that?
person we're dealing with.
Who told you that? Who told you
El
that?
Nomo, you come off mic again, and I'm not talking to you, and I'm not going to address you because you're not. I don't talk to people now. I realize we're not fake. You go troll someplace else.
I'm not trolling. What,
The
who
people
told you that?
who
What book did
shut
I
the fuck up. I'm not talking to you. Don't you hear when somebody doesn't want to talk to you, doesn't want to answer your question?
How would
You have
anybody
nothing
know
wrong
what's
with
on
that?
his nightstand?
You buy your Mike Anthony?
Yeah. So the thing about it, the people who clean his house saw the book there. That's how we knew what the fuck was on his nightstand. You know the brown people he hired to come clean his shit? Yeah.
I just want to ask, man. I want to ask, like, when it's a mega supporter, man, a Donald Trump vote or whatever, man. Is it racist for Donald Trump to say shoot the black and more or less abolitionist white people, you know what I'm saying, that were at the black protests, but pardoning all the radical fucking white folks that was climbing on the Capitol and shit? Does that sound racist to y'all? It sound racist to me.
It is
Shoot the
racist.
peaceful people. Shoot the motherfuckers that's peacefully protesting and shit in the legs, but you know what I'm saying, I'm a part of the other guys that are chanting hang Mike Pence. Is that not anti-American and racist?
It is. ML, my son said, whoa, why he had to son him like that? He said, that's the proper way to cut somebody out. Shut the fuck up. Y'all entertained in my household today. Let me get
So
it.
now, you see, you guys act like fucking there's no records decision. Okay, on record, in a 1990 Vanity Fair piece reported for Ivana Trump, he had a book of Hitler's speeches, My New Order, which a friend later confirmed giving him. Well, not Mein Kampf, but he had Hitler's speeches. Trump himself has said he's never read Mein Kampf, but he has read. The book he had was a book of Hitler's speeches. That's somebody, his daughter, Ivana, well, that's his ex-wife. She confirmed it also. So now what?
I mean, let's put somewhere that he like idolized Hitler or what motherfuckers. One of them didn't say this. Shit, I think it's anti-American towards our earlier conversation to have fucking MAGA 2028 hats in the fucking White House gift shop. That's crazy. Fuck, you got Trump 2028 hats, knowing our Constitution, our democratic processes will not allow you to run in 2028, but you still are selling fucking MAGA 2028 hats in the fucking White House. That's crazy to me. That's anti-fucking American.
Did y'all see the little closet that he has that they had made, like the little shelf of all of the MAGA stuff? And what he does, this is so embarrassing. He takes visiting dignitaries and, you know, CEOs, executives, whoever, and he actually allows them to have something from his MAGA closet. That's how bad it is. Like, did y'all see that video? He just kind of gives them stuff like, that's now the new gift from, you know, the United States of America. Cheap, made in China, MAGA stuff. Like, they actually put a closet in. It's just so bad. It's so tacky. It's just beyond tacky at this point.
So now, also Trump has been noted to quote from Mein Kampf a couple of times. So when you guys come on here and you guys say they should just try to just jump in and try to derail the conversation like somehow somebody's lying and there's no proof about it. So Trump said that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country during a rally in New Hampshire. He doubled down on the comments when it was addressed. You know, he actually said it again. It's crazy what's going on. They are destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said, and I never read Mein Kampf. They say, oh, Hitler said that in much a different way. Yes, a lot of stuff you say can be attributed to what Hitler fucking wrote. So it's those coincidences like people talk about is wild. And when you guys come on here and try to defend Trump like somehow people are lying on Trump, nobody lies on fucking Trump, bro. He's a fucked up human being, and you guys act like he's not, which is the weirdest thing. But no one come and say, well, I'm a Democrat, but everything he says is pro-Trump. Get the fuck out.
Not to mention, I mean, Trump's grandfather was a whole immigrant. His wife is a whole immigrant. So I don't understand how he's so anti-immigrant all of a sudden. Didn't he do business with Deutsche Bank, right? Because he couldn't do business with banks in the U.S. because he was bad.
Nobody would touch him. He was a huge credit risk. Trump never paid his debts, and then he filed for bankruptcy. So why would why as a credit risk officer would authorize a loan to Donald Trump? That credit risk officer should be fucking fired because you know the history of this guy, you know. And the problem is that when they act like, you know, when you say he's a bad businessman, he goes, oh no, he just knows how to take care of the tax code. Yeah, every successful businessman I know just files for 7 or 8 bankruptcies in their lifetime. Yes, they bankrupt casinos. Get the fuck out of here. And that's the thing I'm saying. Like those guys, they don't come in here to have a fair conversation because they're not steeped in reality. They don't want to address. They want to deflect and go around. I don't know why. You cannot be that sycophantic about somebody. You guys definitely in a cult where the brain don't work. Because too, they suffer from real TDS, Trump defense syndrome. They would defend him no matter what he does, what he says. They'll find a way to talk around it. It's like they would have a script because they all would say the same damn stupid shit, and that's not fucking normal.
My thing is that for them to be such an admirer of Donald Trump, they're grossly uninformed. Like, did they not know that the man had over 1,000 lawsuits because he was notorious for stiffing his contractors? Why do y'all think that he had to run out of New York and go to Florida? Because he had pretty much pissed off everybody in the state. He never liked to pay his bills. Why do you think he filed bankruptcy so much? Bankruptcy is not some great strategy. It's a legal way to stiff, right? To stiff the people that you owe. And yeah, the IRS allows it.
Okay,
And you
so
can do it multiple times.
So now another time, Trump, in his own words, said this during the interview. He says, "It was my friend Marty Davis from Paramount who gave me a copy of Mein Kampf. And guess what? He's a Jew." In his fucking own words quoted. So what you got now? I could go on and just start pulling up shit on the internet because there's a lot of shit about him and Mein Kampf. But you act like this shit didn't fucking exist. And also, he lied because David says, "I thought he would find it interesting," David said. "I'm his friend, but I'm not Jewish." So you see how Trump tried to excuse away the fact that he has that book? Saying, well, a Jew gave it to me, so it must be okay. The guy's not even Jewish. Norm, are you satisfied? Norm goes, "It's not on his nightstand." Just
No,
I care with y'all.
the
No,
fake
is that
Democrat.
yeah, is that what you is that your retort? Oh, it's not on his nightstand. Not the fact that he has it or doesn't have it.
So this is your idea of a conversation, talking to the chat without the person on stage? Got it.
Yep. I can't stand on one stage.
Then should you be
I'm just gonna let
modding
it
them?
out there.
Cause like a mod is supposed to be.
No, he hasn't asked to come back up. No,
His
listen,
numbers are
I didn't say I don't want him on stage. I said I can't stand Norm on stage. There's a difference. I didn't say I don't want him on stage. He
But
would
if you
shut up.
can't stand it, then that means that you want to depart from it because you can't stand in it.
Yes, but that doesn't mean I doesn't want him on stage. I say I can't stand when he's stage, but that because he's incorrigible. Well, the point here being is that I don't have Norm blocked. If he actually come up on stage, I bring him up. You know, I have no qualms with him coming back up. Yeah, you know me. I don't block nobody. I ain't got no qualms. No, not even Anthony's dumbass that I blocked after he used to kick me out of the room.
Well, who put him in the goo?
Not me.
Yeah, I did. Because he would shut up, but he'd come back up like we always do now. When he can't shut up, you kick him to the goo.
It wasn't not shut up. I asked you an honest question, and you then admitted that what you were saying, you didn't know what you were talking about. That's true.
And no, I told you I'm not talking
No,
to you.
please don't come up arguing. Oh, no, Mom. Please. Alright, so what's going on with these stamps? They said something about not being able to fund it. They said they just absolutely can't find the money. But I thought we got all this money from the tariffs. They can't move that. They can't slide that over. They can't slide the tariff money over.
Yeah, but you know what's weird, First Lady? There's an emergency fund that they can use. I think it has 8 million in it right now.
Right.
8 billion in it right now.
Okay.
So they could actually utilize that to pay this. Because remember, like I said, the average SNAP benefit is $188. It's not much money. And with inflation going at almost 40% now, from the last couple of years ago, when the SNAP benefits hasn't had a huge annual inflation adjustment on an annual basis, they basically, those folks are still basically getting the same amount of money, but now their buying power is a lot less because inflation is through the fucking roof because of Trump's tariffs. But you're not talking about that. So $188. Have you ever gone to the store and spent $188 in groceries? And what did you walk out there with?
I can tell you, 10 items from Costco.
Exactly. And the thing about it is that,
Hey, God bless you, First Lady.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're welcome.
yeah, sorry about that.
Even your sneeze
so
is
what-
elegant. Did y'all hear that?
Shut
Elegant. Even your sneeze is elegant. That's an elegant sneeze, First Lady.
She hoity-toity all the way.
Stop it.
She really is our First Lady. She really is.
You know she is. Yeah, but I rest. I gotta go do some work, so I'll just listen to you guys. Bye.
You was telling us about the fund, the emergency fund. And then you said,
Oh yeah, so every year there's an emergency fund as part of the SNAP benefits. It's like they put, it's like a contingency fund in case, I guess, I don't know, prices go up. There are multiple reasons. There are emergencies. So for instance, if there's a natural disaster, people obviously qualify for SNAP benefits and whatnot. And it's, so you could actually utilize it for those specific purposes. So they're saying they're not going to use it because it's intended for only a specific purposes and not for natural disaster. So they're saying, whatever natural disaster happened, how are we going to feed those people? But you literally forego feeding people who are currently starving. So make that make sense. That it, you know, you a disaster of your own making that you don't want to correct. Because in the end, Republicans try to act like they don't want to get. They're the ones who voted to get rid of SNAP benefits. They're the ones who voted to cut SNAP benefits. You know, and now they're acting like somehow they're in good faith. Oh, we want to feed the people with SNAP. You guys have always voted to get rid of, you know, the social safety net. It's not like you guys have been, you know, proponents of the safety. You guys not. You guys have consistently voted to cut it and slash it, because the fact is that you think people are not people who want it actually don't want to work, and they're just bums. And the fact is that the American economy is fucked up right now, and you're gonna let kids stop.
If the Democrats signed the continuing resolution, which cuts nothing, everybody would get their benefits. That's a fact.
Yes. But no, what is the purpose of the Democrats holding out? Because guess what? You guys control government.
They're trying to play.
Don't say you're a fucking Democrat. Don't say you're a Democrat.
all right,
You control the House.
let's
You
have
control
the
the Senate.
conversation. Let's have the conversation, because
No.
right now y'all just taking bits and pieces of the truth, and then that's where we get the arguing. And truth cannot be argued. Truth is truth.
Yep.
Truth stands alone. It cannot be argued. We have
So
to
no.
go by going through chronological order of how we got here. If you just start in the middle, or if you start at the end, then that's where you're going to be. You got to start from the very beginning. And once this big, beautiful bill even came out, right from the very beginning, they read over and they was like, wait a minute, something ain't right about this. They kept saying something ain't right. These SNAP benefits, they cutting SNAP benefits for millions of Americans. Do you remember that, Elnoma? This is just a few short months ago. Do you remember that in the beginning of this year? Do you remember those conversations coming about before the big, beautiful bill got passed?
I remember discussions, but nobody shut down the government and refused to sign the budget.
No, wait a minute. Just stay with me. I'm asking you for a specific period of time. I know you want to get your...
The government shut down now because the Democrats won't sign the continuing resolution.
Let's
That's
go
why
through the
people aren't going to
process.
get their benefits.
Okay, so you don't want to
No,
go, you don't want to have the conversation, you just
We're
want to
having
stick
it.
to.
We're having
No,
this
we're not having a
conversation.
conversation when you want to continuously skip everything in the middle
I'm
and
not
just go
skipping.
right to
I'm
the end.
talking about where
You
we
are.
are right now.
No, I'm not going to have a conversation with you right now
That
like that.
discussion
I'm
did not
not.
that discussion did not shut down the government. It's not
No,
signing the
she's
budget.
Sir, I was going through a process. What are you doing? And now you have fast forward. No, you're not. Okay, you know what, Norm? I'm not going to do it with you because I really don't have time. I don't have the time. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to be nice about it. You're just a little different about it, ML. I'm just going to be nice about it. I'm not going to have a conversation with you because I need you to understand. When I'm speaking, I'm asking you a question, and then you want to go in and insert how you feel the conversation should go is not how I'm going to operate because I'm in charge. No, you asked the question, you answered the question, but then you continuously kept going. You do that because you want to continuously keep putting down your point. No, because you keep reiterating your point versus us actually going through the process. Because listen, it's important for if you ever went to math class, your teacher said, "I want to see your work. Show me your work." I'm going through the process to show the work here. If you want to just go ahead and blurt out the answer, then that's not going to work for this classroom. That's what I'm telling you. Are we clear? Because if we're not, then I can wipe the glasses off and make it clear for you.
If you get the right answer, nobody cares how you got there.
And that's wrong.
So
that's part of the problem.
That's called tax fraud, FYI.
No, the Democrats are going to sign that continuing.
Well, he's a Democrat.
Before Thanksgiving.
Nobody believes this man is a Democrat. We never
Okay.
did.
I know.
I've been a Democrat longer than you.
All right.
That's
all
what's
right.
going to happen, and they're going to do
That's-
it because it's the right thing to do, because you can't deprive people of their food before Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you for
Yes,
sharing
we do.
your
Right.
ideas. No, it's fine. I'm going to move you to the audience because you have given your statement.
Now you just
Listen, but I'm explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing, ML. Because when I move somebody, I tell them straight up and down. So I'm moving him, and I'm telling the audience as well, because he has given his submission. He's not here to open his mind to change it. He's going to stand on it. So there's no need for me to engage with him. There's no need for me to continuously hear him continuously go around the barnyard. That is insane to me. I don't do that. Y'all do that. I will end the conversation. I don't need to have a conversation with somebody that's not open to changing their mind.
I agree.
That's it. That's all.
So SNAP, the big beautiful bill. Let me go over what they cut in reference to benefits. Like Republicans are still concerned about people. So the 50 food plan cap, meaning that normally during the year, the underlying market price based on CPI is adjusted. So basically, you could raise benefits can grow over time based on CPI, Consumer Price Index. So the limits how much maximum SNAP benefits can grow over time. They've capped that into law. So basically, for you to reverse to increase SNAP benefits in the future, you literally have to go back and reverse that law. This is the shit they're doing. Then work rules tightened. So basically, able-bodied kid, adults without dependents, the law broadens who is subject to the 80-hour per month requirement and narrows several exemptions, with time limits kicking in if requirements are not met. Yep, that's what it did. SNAP ended after foreign federal grants, cutting state nutrition education funding tied to SNAP. SNAP Ed. So your kids get to go to fucking school hungry and they don't get to eat. That is what they're doing. They cut that shit. Ended. No money to feed the kids who go to school hungry. Ended. So there you go. Apparently they put a non-citizen eligibility restricted. So I guess if you're on green card, you don't get SNAP benefits. I don't know. So.
And this is the itemization of the conversation. Because when you start breaking down things like that, then my overall question, is it worth it? Is it worth the cut and what you're trying to take away? Look at what you're pulling away from people. That's the reason why I want to have the conversation. I want to walk this thing through because I need people to understand. I understand you got the bottom line answer. Okay, that's where you are. But let's understand how we got to this. If you don't understand the numbers that you're actually calculating, it's a problem. Because this is more complex. This is more complex. Go ahead.
So, First Lady, the entirety of all the based on the CBO office on all the reductions, it's on order of 180 billion over 10 years. But they give tax breaks to the rich, which is a lot more than
180 billion.
Yeah, over 10 years. That's how much
Over
they've
10
cut.
years.
It's like yes, and also, so when people don't understand that, in addition to that, the big beautiful also cut Medicaid up to $1 trillion. CBO projects up to $1 trillion in Medicaid reductions over a decade.
So I'm trying to figure out what are we doing with that money? So where do people think that money is going to go to? They think it's going to go back in their pocket? Is that just maybe that's the reason why? But see, when y'all say that, it's not itemized enough, right? If you just say, well, it's just going to go to the rich, some kind of way in how the words have been spewed, they understand that these credits are going to come back to them. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Maybe it is, but I'm just trying to figure out, okay, if you cut this money from the poor people, then what do you think you're putting back in your pocket? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because that's what I think a lot of people are voting for. They're voting because they think they're going to be gaining something. Is that right or wrong? Hey, lady. Hey,
yes.
Hey, what's up, First Lady?
I wholeheartedly understand what you're saying and believe that, yes, I think that is a misconception. Because the fact is that the country as a whole, we go in debt up to $1 trillion a year. We're definitely overspending how much money the country's bringing. So we have a deficit of $1 trillion a year. Now, you figure those cuts, if you're cutting something, then what is it where are those savings going? Can you say, can we apply that to the national debt? But that's never the conversation with Republicans. They've actually increased the national debt by guess what? Given in addition to those cuts, they gave tax breaks to the rich people that will allow them to add an additional 4 to 5 trillion on the national debt. But people are not talking about those the breakdown of how money's moved on from one thing to another. Because people always talk about how much money spent on SNAP benefits, which is only like 88 million, like 90 billion a year. But they don't talk about how much farm subsidies go to farmers on an annual basis, And they don't talk about any of the giveaways they give to corporations, to rich people, blah. They don't talk about any of those things because those people are not moochers, they're part of the top 1%. And that's the thing about Americans, don't seem to want to understand that. And when Trump said, I like the poorly educated, that's the reason why he says this shit. Because they're not going to do this research. They're not going to do the research to find. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes when you try to explain stuff to them, they're so opaque.
Because sometimes the way, I'm just going to keep it real with you. So the way y'all be talking to people, they can't hear that. They can't hear it. I'm just going to be real honest with you. Y'all condescending, I'm being honest. Y'all talk to the people in a certain kind of way, and they just gonna argue back with what you're saying because they can't really hear what you're saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the way, like right now and how you're saying it, I'm following. But then when you start saying, this is why they do this, immediately everything that you just said, they're gonna exit out and they're gonna start fighting you. I'm just telling you. I've seen it. I sit back and I watch how the conversations go. But I want to stick there. I want to get other people in the conversation. My overall question is, do you really understand what you are looking to cut when we're looking at these, cuts from these different programs? And, be able to stand on it and sleep at night. Because at the end of the day, somebody may not have been as fortunate as you. I understand you guys want to get a time limit on it and things like that. Then that's fine. Let's do that. But let's find a progressive way to do that or, go in progression, go in, bits and pieces of time to do it. But just cutting it away from people without any kind of planning, without any kind of expectation, is very hard. And it's not just going to be difficult on them, it's going to be difficult on everybody. Because if they're not eating and they're not getting it, then guess what? Then it's going to be a lot of crime. So then your tax, property value, all of that's going to drop because crime is going to rise. So it's a lot of different things to just look at outside of just your own immediate home. Okay, I'm shutting up.
Emil, can you share where you were reading from so we can read it on our own?
If you take the big beautiful bill, and I just Google what the CBO says on it, and then I just summarized it. That's it. If you go to the CBO office, you could get it. I don't even have the link up anymore. Yeah. So you just go to the CBO office and see what the percentage. And sometimes if you go to Politico, they actually list what the cuts are to the bill also. That's another article that lists that. Sorry, I'm actually working now, so I kind of got out of that. Yeah, sorry about that.
I just wonder if some people actually care. Like, nobody's protesting in the streets about food stamps. 40 million people are going to lose their food stamps in November. I don't know if people care. I think they'll care when they see the crime raised. But right now, I don't know. I think Trump is winning. He's getting all the things that he wants and cutting taxes for the rich and taking that on the poor, and it's crazy. I don't see anybody protesting this.
I think because a lot of people, even when I was talking to a gentleman today, he said, well, have they lost their health coverage right now? And I'm like, well, no, it's coming. He's like, well, okay then. A lot of people wait until the end. And I'm that type of person as well. I try to hold out to see how the end is going to come about. But these people are clearly saying they got $8 billion somewhere for emergency funds, and they're not even going to take from that to feed the people. I don't know what they want to hold. I got it. They just want the Democrats to fold. Got it. Because that's what Democrats normally do. They give in. They're the kind ones. They have a heart, and they give in. So I guess that's what they want, what it is.
I think it's $30 billion. It was like they have a $30 billion contingency fund, and then when the Mellon guy gave the $130 million for the military, that's kind of where it was, is buying Trump more time to starve out, or the Republicans to starve out the Democratic Party.
Reform, is that right? 30? Is it 30 billion they have in emergency funds? I don't know.
Well, technically, the emergency funds call for. I was trying to look for those links, First Lady. I believe it's empty, and just to talk about like what's actually going on. There's no budget currently for SNAP, which is what this argument is about. So they have to appropriate or allocate those funds, which is why Trump is basically allowing this to happen. As I keep saying, he's the first president to not fund the SNAP, because there's an emergency bill, I believe, to fund SNAP during the shutdown. So Congress is kind of weird. They have to come to an agreement to basically, rubber stamp the budget. Trump's major legislation and push was for his One Big Beautiful Bill. Then this is what they do, and it's a problem actually for every American, Republicans and Democrats. What they do is they pass these big ass bills, and then they worry about the funding later, which is kind of ass backwards, right? So Congress is not very financially literate, because you don't decide what you're going to spend and then see if you can afford it, right? But that's literally what Congress is doing. So there's technically no funds appropriated for it. So they're explicitly saying, well, it won't go out because we haven't funded these things. So there's an emergency fund, and I believe that that's been depleted anyway also. But it's not like the Fed could not go to the states and give them an IOU and say, hey, if you guys have the funds, right, why don't you go ahead and take care of it? Shout out to Mississippi, which has basically said, which is kind of interesting, y'all, because this is a red state, right? This is MAGA land. This is Trump land. I believe I'm going to confirm this, but I believe Mississippi has gone ahead and said, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to get reimbursed. We're going to go out and give out a portion of our EBT that's owed to our citizens. So some states are like, you know what, Trump, this is not cool. We're not even gonna play like that. We're gonna go ahead and do what we can, even if the Fed is not gonna reimburse us. So I just wanted to point that out. There's so many different options that they have for this not to be an issue. And again, this is not why the Democrats. This is something that is happening because of the government shutdown, right? This is kind of like a byproduct of that. What the Dems are doing is holding off on these negotiations, or holding off on signing off on what's currently presented, because it is not going to extend the ACA subsidies, which would be devastating. If we think that no food stamps no EBT is devastating, no federal subsidies for the ACA is devastating, because the Republicans have yet to come up with a solution. Now, mind you, since 2016, we've been hearing Republicans say the ACA is trash, we're going to replace it, we're going to repeal it, da-da-da-da-da. You can't take away the funding portion of the ACA without tackling the main ACA. That's not how that's going to work, right? That's Madoff math. It just doesn't work, and you can't convince us otherwise. So that's what's going on. It's so nuanced.
So what about this continuing resolution? Because, the other side is saying, hey, listen, just sign the continuing resolution and kick it down the road. Because that was my thought originally. Like, just go ahead and do it. This was early on in October when they first did it. So what say you in regards to the continuing resolution?
I'm going to use one of my examples again. This sounds like a husband who has cheated his entire marriage and is telling his wife, just give me 6 months, babe, and I'll change. And meanwhile, the side chick is calling your phone, telling you that she's pregnant again. She's pregnant again. She already got 2 kids for your husband.
Damn.
That's what that sounds like. There you go, First Lady. That's the Republicans right now. The Republicans are like, baby, 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 please, I love you. This time is different. Baby, baby, please, I'm a change. And the Democrats are like, go on somewhere. No, I'm trying to hold out. Let me get this divorce attorney on the line. Let me get my, you know what I'm saying, First Lady, let me get my sugar daddy to get me together, to get me out of this house.
What?
And, the Democrats are trying. They trying to hold on, but the Republicans are coming with the Louis Vuitton bags and you know what I'm saying? And the roses. Yes, the Republicans are like, baby, 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 please, just sign right here. It's gonna be okay. And the Democrats like, nah, Negro, you full of shit. Okay? So we don't want the Republicans to wane. Stay strong, Republicans. He ain't no good. He ain't gonna change. Okay? That's what's going on.
Okay. All right. So I specifically wanted to know, like, from the very beginning. I understand now because the stakes are too high now to turn around now. But I'm talking about originally when they were talking about going to November 21st when this first started. Why not sign the CR? And then if they still didn't make the change, then you hold out in November.
Because firstly, they had since February to actually address this, and they chose not to. So it's not like they didn't have the opportunity. They've had the opportunity and chose not to like work with the Democrats on this. So the CR, it's an okey doke. Like before, Mickey is saying.
Yeah, I got that part. Because that is exactly what I say back to them. I'm just talking about if you rewind your mind in time, and the beginning, why wasn't that done? Mega, I don't understand. Why you just can't come and talk to me? Just like, what's going on? By the way, real quick, this is happening now. Synagogue threat arrest Jeremy Wayne Shoemaker, age 33, accused of threatening synagogues in Alabama and other states. Weapons suitcase filled with ammo and body armor found in his home. He has been arrested with body armor ammunition after threatening the synagogues. Thank you. What's next?
Hey, so this lady, I just want to bring up a news break. So Trump administration moves to overrule state laws. I mean, they all care about separation of federal and state. And that the law that protected credit reports from medical debt. The Consumer Finance Protection Bureau had passed a law stating that states, it's called the FCRA. States could preempt any state laws or regulations when it comes to how debt should be reported to the credit bureaus like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. This repeals previous Biden-era rules and regulations that allow states to implement their own credit reporting ban. More than a dozen states like New York and Delaware prohibit the reporting of medical debt on a consumer's credit report. And Trump and them gonna guess what? Get that shit while they don't pay, while they cut Medicaid. So pretty good. So y'all about to incur a lot of medical debt, and that's just gonna be in your on your credit report. But the Republicans are doing their best for us. Just go vote for them because we're on the Democratic plantation.
Yeah. I got a question though. So if food stamps, like you said, in November everything stops and all that. So if the farmers are already filing for bankruptcy and things like that, isn't that going to affect them even more? Forgive my ignorance if I don't know. Maybe that was a bad question. I don't know, but I was just saying that wouldn't it accelerate the problem?
Yeah, I stepped away from my phone. I'm sorry. Say it again. Say it again, babe.
So, since the food stamps will stop in November, wouldn't that affect the farmers as well, as far as their income, and since they're already filing for bankruptcy, wouldn't that accelerate whatever financial hardship that they're having at the moment?
I don't know. I mean, because if they don't have the money now, how they gonna have the money later?
Right.
The budget won't pass for them to get the money. I get it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think he throws off the whole system. You're having food produced that's expected to be purchased. There's going to be some level of effect on the purchasing.
Especially for the holidays. Sorry.
Right. So, no, you're right. There's some level of less purchasing. I just feel like it throws everything off somehow. Because there's a system in place. There's an estimate. We expect people to buy this much spinach. Well, you've already grown that spinach. It isn't like you can grow less now. So that spinach already exists.
Is that me or you just went quiet?
No, I went quiet for a second. I was just thinking, I'm sure Trump has a lot of people he's listening to, analysts and, mathematicians that he's working with to make sure this goes smooth.
All right, hello, y'all there? What's going on? Why y'all quiet? All right, so the annual out-of-pocket premium payments for Affordable Care Act Marketplace enrollees in 2025, what is this? I don't know what this red is saying. That's what I was trying to take a picture of this. I don't know. It's saying $888, and in 2026, it's saying 1,904. So that's about $1,100 increase. So, yeah, I don't know the numbers. Anyway, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Okay. At least somebody said I'm sure it hurt the farmers.
Yeah, but when we're like you said, like, is the food industry a part of the economy, made up with a part of the economy, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're speaking on the economy, you're speaking on all those things, wouldn't that have a domino effect of the consumers are not spending the money? And just like the gentleman said, they've already produced this stuff. I mean, and the animals